Sometimes when we end a relationship, we do that for the wrong reasons, probably without prior knowledge that relationship requires effort from both parties. Sometimes it is for the right reasons that become pointless in the long run. Sometimes we just grow far apart and cannot identify what exactly the issues are. Sometimes it might be due to a mistake made by us or our partners. When a relationship ends, there is every possibility that the relationship might be back on track and even wax stronger, taking a cue from the mistakes made previously. These relationship comebacks might be facilitated by either parties or numerous factors, but irrespective of the outcome, it takes God's will to mend a broken relationship. When relationships end, fragments of our hearts are still with our ex and fragments of theirs with us. The memories of the good times we spent together are stuck with us, and we look back at these moments to relive them occasionally. Some people yearn for a second shot of a relationship with that person with plans of doing things differently. We get stuck between moving on or waiting for our ex. This period can be frustrating sometimes. It causes a dilemma that people usually lose themselves in, trying to make sense out of it. This dilemma is facilitated by the thought that our ex might still be interested in a relationship with us. However, we often get scared that we might be giving ourselves false hope. Your ex coming back to you also takes effort from both parties. We have seen situations when one party wants to get back and the other has no intention of doing so. This situation will be extremely difficult. For your ex to be willing to get back to you, you also have to read the signs and act accordingly if you want the relationship to be back on track. There may be few signs to confirm that our ex will come back to us. These signs are expected to be acted upon if we want our relationship back on track. Some of these signs are: Number 1. Mutual breakup. Many breakups happened mutually between the two parties. They might have realized or had an intuition that the relationship would not work out. These breakups are usually done for wrong reasons, and it is most likely that both parties are going to get back together sooner or later. It is more difficult though if the breakup was a result of infidelity or a very big fight between both parties, because these situations breed ego, and it is most likely that people would not want their ego crushed. Mutual breakups most times mean there is a chance for both parties to work things out together, as the affection is still intact. Some relationships ended as a result of refusal to change certain things, causing rift in the relationship, but instead decide to part ways. But as time goes on, both parties mature and realize that little sacrifices are made in relationships. Most mutual breakups usually just need time off to work out few issues individually. Since the affection is still there, we most likely miss our partners and start questioning our choices to end the relationship in the first place. Mutual breakups open a very big possibility that you and your ex will come back together because no real bonds were broken initially, no hurtful words were said to each other that either party need to grow from. Number 2. Communication. Communication is the bedrock and strength of any relationship. Even people we are not interested in initially, we start growing bonds with them after constant communication. Our heart instantly interprets the constant communication as care. And also, humans are naturally attracted to people they communicate with regularly. If communication can build a bridge between strangers, then it can mend a broken bridge between two people that were once in love. If your ex still communicates with you regularly, there is a big possibility that he or she wants to get back together. The communication might start slowly, but gets stronger as the days go by. Frequent communication is a sign that someone wants to get back together. They keep bringing up issues to discuss and would not stop calling to tell you about their day, checking up on you randomly, and going the extra miles to listen and provide solutions to whatever you have to say. This method is very effective in awakening lost affection and portrays a clear sign that your ex wants to get back together. It is only right for you to reciprocate these gestures for the relationship to be back fully on track. Number 3. Mental support. Most times, when people end a relationship, they remain emotionally trapped in that relationship that they end up looking for their ex in every new people they meet. Of course, no one can give you an exact vibe and feel like someone else. This simply means the love and affection is still there and they are not ready to let go. They end up comparing their present relationship with their previous one as they try to move on. This leaves them going in circles, and most of them have no option but to contact their ex to spark up a communication. Usually, this communication leads them back to the previous relationship. Being emotionally trapped does not mean someone is manipulating you emotionally. Sometimes it might mean you just love someone a lot that you do not want to let go. This is one sign your ex can exhibit, and you would be sure they want to get back together. Being emotionally trapped in a relationship is not a bad thing if you have someone willing to complement your efforts. So, when we see the efforts our ex put emotionally into getting back together, we need to meet them halfway, as it takes two to tango. Having great emotional support increases affection. Your ex coming back to you for emotional stability shows their complete trust in you for their mental and emotional health. This support must have been sought out by them from different people after the breakup, so for them to still depend on you for this support means they still hold you in high regards. Number 4. Spending time together. One of the major signs that an ex will get back together is them always wanting to spend time together with you, even after the breakup. This usually occurs when your ex is too fond of you, and they just cannot imagine their life without you in it. When someone is fond of you, they will always strive to be around you, and this act is most likely to rekindle their affection for you. Spending time together also reminds you of the reasons both of you got together in the first place. At these moments, what made both of you part ways would not matter. Your ex spending valuable time with you passes a strong message that you are still an important figure in their life and they are not ready to let go. Sometimes they even go as far as planning dates and picnics as an excuse to spend time with you. Once you see these signs, you should be able to decipher the hidden messages behind these gestures, but most time, they might not be outrightly spelling it out. Number 5. The connection will not go. After breakup, no matter how much he or she tries, the connection just will not go. This is usually from both parties, as both of you have gotten used to one another. You find out your ex still includes you in his plans. He or she tries to put a restraint from seeing you, but everything brings you to their memory. They find themselves ordering the same meal you both enjoyed eating together, or watching the same movies you both enjoyed watching together. Whenever they have good news to share, their instinct is to call you. When they have an issue, they cannot resist the urge to whine about it to you. Every tiny detail reminds them of you. They cannot stop thinking about you and cannot help but let you know they still think about you. They casually mention how much they miss you. They would not hold back telling about their failed attempts at dating other people after the breakup. They constantly remind you of how good both of you were together and constantly make efforts to make sure they stay afloat in your mind, still going the extra mile to see you happy. These are few signs that your ex will get back to you, but you still have to remember it takes an effort from you and God's will to make things work out perfectly. Most times, we get lost reading the signs that we forget to meet them halfway. We overthink situations and withdraw at the slightest challenge we face. The fear of being rejected is the major reason why our ex would not want to rekindle the relationship, and instead, they communicate with signs and can only hope we decode them. If we can be steadfast in prayers and make an appreciable effort to decode these signs, our relationship will be back stronger because we have lived and learned from the previous experiences.